Welcome to Ambassador's Daily Banquet, Odo, your daily spiritual nourishment. Yeah, yeah. We feast on God's word, draw strength from his promises to live as true ambassadors. Jure! Receive fresh revelation to empower your faith. Oh yeah! Let us step into today's banquet. Come on, step into the banquet!
All right, today we're jumping into a really powerful leadership idea called servant mentorship. We're pulling our insights from the devotional text, Ambassador's Daily Banquets, to figure something out. You know, how do some leaders manage to create an impact that genuinely, truly outlives them?
I mean, that's really the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? It's not just about what you get done while you're in charge, but what happens after you're gone, the legacy you leave. And the source material we're diving into has a fascinating answer. It says the secret lies in who you build up, not just what you build. And this verse right here is the foundation for the whole concept. The source uses this passage from 2 Timothy to really set the stage. And if you look closely, it's all about this incredibly powerful chain of teaching, right? One person teaches another, who then becomes equipped to teach even more people. It completely reframes leadership. It's not just a one-time act, it's about a transfer of knowledge that's built to multiply. Okay, so with that foundation in place, let's get down to brass tacks. What exactly is servant mentorship, at least according to this text? So here's the core definition the source gives us. And I want you to pay attention to those three key words: guiding, equipping, and nurturing. Oh, and that word intentional, that is absolutely crucial. This isn't some kind of passive lead-by-example thing. No, this is a deliberate, hands-on process of investing in someone else's growth, helping them mature in their faith and their ability to lead. So what this really boils down to is this: the goal isn't just about gathering a bunch of followers or building up your own authority. Not at all. According to the source, the entire focus shifts to multiplication. It's all about multiplying your impact by empowering other people to become leaders themselves. And that brings us to the ultimate purpose, the why behind this whole model. It's really about having the vision to look past your own time in the spotlight and create something that's going to continue and maybe even grow long after you've moved on. So the source actually breaks this down into 4 key goals. First, and we've already touched on this, it's designed to multiply a leader's impact. But it also fosters deep spiritual and personal growth. And when you do that, you're directly preparing the next generation of leaders. All of this leads to that one big objective: building a legacy that truly, genuinely outlasts any one person.
All right, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? How does it actually work in practice? Well, the source text points us to 2 really key historical models to help us see it in action.
And this is such a brilliant way to illustrate the idea. So you have Paul's model, which the text describes as being really strategic, passing knowledge to faithful people, people who could be trusted to then go on and teach others. Then you have Jesus's model, which is framed as being more hands-on, very intentional, actively teaching, correcting, and empowering his followers to keep the mission going. So you've got 2 different approaches, but, and this is the key point the source makes, they share the exact same goal: making sure the work carries on effectively.
So when you put this principle of servant mentorship into practice, what kind of environment does it create? What does it feel like to be in a group or an organization that runs this way?
Well, the source points to 3 really interconnected outcomes. First, when you invest in people like this, it fosters genuine loyalty. Makes sense, right? And that supportive environment also builds a strong sense of accountability. And when you put those 2 things together, loyalty and accountability, you get what the text calls a culture of growth, a place where everyone developing and getting better is just the norm, not some special occasion.
And what are the mentees actually getting from all this? Well, we're talking about very specific tools. This isn't just a pat on the back and some encouragement. No, it's tangible. The text says they get practical, real-world wisdom, guiding biblical principles they can build their lives on, and effective leadership strategies they can actually use to then go on and mentor the next wave of leaders themselves.
All right, so this source material isn't just describing a cool concept, it actually presents a very direct call to action. It wants to move its audience from just understanding the theory to actually applying it in their own lives.
And it all starts with this pretty pointed question for you to ask yourself. The source wants you to take a look at your own actions and honestly answer, are you intentionally guiding others toward maturity? It's really a challenge, isn't it? to move from just being a passive influence to being an active mentor. And after that moment of reflection, the source lays out 2 very clear, actionable steps. Step 1, evaluate what you're already doing when it comes to mentorship. And step 2, make a real commitment. Dedicate your time and resources to actually nurture those future leaders. It's a really straightforward recipe for putting this whole idea into practice.
And this all brings us to one final thought. If you step back from the source's specific context for a moment, its core idea raises a really powerful question for any leader out there today. Just think about it. What could any organization, your company, your team, your community, what could it truly achieve with a leadership model that's focused entirely on preparing its next generation for success? Now that is a legacy worth thinking about.
Thank you for watching. Please share, like, and comment. Your host, God7, David F. Wafulu.